Hey, best friends. I'm Yana.
And I'm Claire.
Welcome to
My Best Friend's Book Club.
Book Club. Welcome, y'all. It's Claire and Yana here. We're just your two besties
Who read books for you.
For you, with you, to you. Life's just really hard sometimes. And, stories, they take you to a different world.
I wish I was in the fairy smut world.
I wish.
I would go there so fast and hard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
make
like
that
that
joke a lot.
We do.
But hey, if you guys like to read, I might have a podcast for you.
So do we.
Yeah. And if you can't read, we have a podcast for you too.
We can't either.
And if you know of any famous CEOs or celebrities, give them our info and ask them to sponsor us, because in this economy,
Who doesn't need a new best friend?
we got bills to pay,
With
but
no
also
money.
besties, faux besties. Anyway,
What are we reading?
we are reading Sociopath by Patric Gagne. We're actually finishing it today.
It's the last episode.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. And we might have a secret surprise for you, but we want to make sure it works out before we say anything. We'll just let your minds wander on that.
We're going to start doing this podcast naked.
And we're finally going to have video recording.
So follow us on Pornhub.com.
Follow us on
Sponsors.
My BF Book Club on Instagram and TikTok.
Maybe slide into our DMs.
Maybe a For You fans one day. For You fans? No, sorry.
Only
Only fans. I'm old enough. I know who I am. I'm fine.
Hey, Claire, would you be interested in me maybe giving you a little recap of what we talked about last week?
Only if you're naked.
Okay, I'm going to take it off.
Okay. Ooh, ooh,
That's the sound that my body makes.
Oh my. Those are the most glorious things I've ever seen.
Thank you. Look how low they hang.
I wish I had a pair of those, just as robust.
Apply the accent. Sorry, Mom.
I'm not sorry, Mom.
No, you made it.
You deal with it.
You deal with it. So, a tiny little recap from the previous week. It was pretty much about Patrick and David starting to have some troubles in paradise, as Patrick is battling in her head kind of like who in her life actually loves her for who she is versus kind of uses her for the good parts of being a sociopath, but then judges her for maybe the ones perceived as more negative. And she is dealing with spying on a crazy lady named Ginny. And then there's Max. And she also makes a new friend, Everly.
Okay, summary of this week. You ready to finish this book, Yana?
Take me to the end.
Listeners, are you ready to finish this book? Here we go. So, Patrick finally scores her research grant to study the link between sociopathy and anxiety. And then
Anxiety.
to celebrate her musician friend Max, there was a dinner party where he basically is like toasting her and calling her a lunatic. And thankfully, Patrick kind of shrugs it off, and she then just tells the whole group that she's a sociopath. And it actually ends up being a surprisingly insightful conversation. I don't know, he kind of just maxed. He maxed it to the max. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop.
Ew.
So now David is out of town and Max shows up at Patrick's office and he's trying to lure her onto his private jet. Remember, because he's like a famous musician and he wants to take her to dinner in New York. And she's tempted, but she turns him down because she's trying to be quote unquote good for David. But
we all tried to be good for David. If you know, you know.
But the problem is that things with David are still rocky. Constant fighting, he's never home, and her stuck stress is hitting a breaking point. She's acting out more, and not just because she's stressed, but because she wants to upset David, like intentionally.
Yeah.
So one night when she's struggling not to act out, she's fighting herself, she has an epiphany and she realizes that there's no kind of guidebook for sociopaths. And so she's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just write it myself. And in this moment, she decides that she's going to go get her PhD. But this also means that she's going to be juggling school and being a music manager for her father still. And obviously, these two things are not sustainable. And the one thing that she's like probably going to drop out of is the music industry because it quote unquote feeds her darkness. Listen,
you feed my darkness.
You feed mine.
I am your darkness.
I don't know what happens in the music industry, but I imagine there's some shady shit going on in there, and it just kind of is a breeding ground for her sociopathy.
Well, and she's always she's never really. She was never that passionate about it, right? Like she got into it because it was just kind of given to her, but that's definitely not
Dad.
her. Yeah. What have you done for us, Dad?
Can you imagine if your dad was like, hey, I'm this really big music producer guy or whatever, manager. I was like, hey, Yana, you have some social things going on, so why don't you just come work for this big thing? You can come to Hugh Hefner's parties. You can meet Max, famous artists.
Here's a house too, by the way.
Get out there, Yana.
Yeah. Gosh, I would love that problem.
We'll get into some of that sort of feedback in our reviews later.
What kind of a job has your dad given you?
I got to work at my dad's insurance firm growing up.
That's the same.
When it was like ancient and there were not a lot of computers. And I had to work a lot in the filing room to file his clients like alphabetically and find the paper that goes with this person in that drawer. And took hours of my life, honestly.
I did
and
a lot of filing at my mom's office.
yeah, my dad didn't pay me either. So
whoa, Dad.
Dad, you've
Child
gathered
labor?
You've gathered a lot of interest at this point.
Oh my goodness. When
That's
are you
right.
sending him a bill?
Keeping track. I'm going to pick an opportune moment. I'll let you all know when I figure it out.
Thank you. I'd love to be there. Fuck you, Dad.
So, anyway, Max pops back up. He's about to go on a long tour, you know, because he's so famous. I really want to know who Max is. We never get to find out, but I'm like, who the fuck is Max? And he wants to hang out before he goes on this long tour. And somehow, through conversation and deciding what they're going to do, they end up at Ginny's house. Stalking Ginny. This is the woman who's been blackmailing Patric over alleged photos of her father, where he is inappropriately engaging in activities with women.
Cool whip.
That never happens. So,
yeah, men don't do that.
What? Especially in the music industry.
Yep.
So, we kind of come to find out that Max is really the total opposite of David. You know, they're out there stalking Ginny in the darkness, and he's telling her to really lean into this side of her. And he even jokes about how, you know, he understands if Patric were to kill Ginny. You know, she's a jerk, and she's totally getting what she deserves. And he's like, you're not wrong. And Patric...
Just like intense, because I'm not sure blackmailing is like enough of a crime for murder to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, Ginny actually sounds like she does suck a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it's like,
it
oh,
deserves
like,
to be murdered.
Go fuck. Yeah, I don't know about that, but what do I know? So this really confuses Patric. She's feeling very fuzzy in her brain. She's really like, well, David would say this, but Max is saying this, and I'm having a hard time with David. So maybe, I don't know, at least Max is accepting me. It kind of becomes a whole sort of washing machine in her brain.
Washing machine in her brain.
You like that?
I do like
Came
that.
up with that on the spot.
Wow, that's really good. I would have said like the dishwasher.
I'm so perfect.
I would do anything for you.
So the next morning, after she's done stalking Ginny with Max, she's not feeling super in her brain. Super. So she goes to Everly, who is her best friend at this point, and they need sort of like a coffee emergency woman date. And she tells Everly everything. She knows about David, she knows about Max, she knows about her job in the music industry, everything. And Everly is kind of like, you know what? It really sounds like you have a crush on Max. Which, honestly, that's what I was kind of thinking, too.
We are all Everly.
And Patric is not really liking this. She wants to want David, but David only likes the quote-unquote safe parts of her. He doesn't really accept her fully like he used to when they were kids. So she's feeling very conflicted. Fair. So desperate to bridge the gap between her and David, that night, she's like, hey, in my dissertation, right, because she's working on her PhD, she's like, I'm going to just declare that I'm a sociopath. I'm just going to fucking say it for everyone. And David doesn't like this. He kind of panics and he's like, you're going to lose all credibility and no one's going to believe you. It's not going to look well on you. And it kind of turns into a rather large fight. Kind of.
There was some fighting in there, and also just like I think.
I mean,
like
he was being a little bitch.
I mean,
he like shuts off the light while she's sitting there trying to talk to him in the bed, and it's just like conversation over. Like, okay, David, respectfully,
disrespectfully.
But the fight ends up being so bad that they break up, and the next day, David moves out. While he's driving away, Patric stands in the driveway, and she stands there for 20 minutes, and she's trying to force herself to cry. She's like, it's now or never, and nothing happens. So she's kind of like, you know what? This is who I am. Her new sort of brand is that I don't care. That's what she says. I don't care. I don't care about anything. So fast forward a bit. Patric is still working on her PhD. And for her PhD, she has to intern so many hours at a clinic. And so that's what she's doing. During this time, she realizes that she's sort of a sociopath magnet. Magnet? Magnet?
No, N.
Magnet.
No, not magnet.
Magnet. What's
She's
wrong?
magnetic.
You are magnet. You are the magnetic. Magnet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a magnet.
It's a magnet on my fridge.
Yes, not a magnet.
Yes. Magnet.
No, magnet.
You know what? She attracts sociopaths.
Magnetically.
Good one, Yana.
Magnetically.
That was funny. We're fine. So this basically means that she gets all the patients where everyone's like, they have all these symptoms and I have no idea what to do with them. Like they don't have a pinpoint diagnosis for them. And so they all kind of go to Patric. And these are people who are like stalkers. They have acts of violence. But she kind of loves this because she can listen to them and they can interact and they can talk about this darkness and it doesn't really bother Patric. And she's actually able to relate and provide guidance. So, fast forward some more. Max finally returns from his famous man tour, and the two meet up and they decide to go to the broken down cottage that Patric really loves. Max, at the cottage, he plays her a love letter. It's a love letter to a Sociopath song that he wrote, and he plays it on the piano.
Sing it for us.
So say I'll pay you. Ding, ding. And then this leads to a very intense, high chemistry.
ASMR.
That's a kiss if you didn't hear it.
What if we kiss through our mics?
You kind of at this moment as a reader where you're like, holy shit, is she about to date this famous Max man?
Yes.
Right?
I did think that.
I was like, wait, is she really not going to end up with David for reals? I'm sorry, I spoiled everything for everyone. Spoiler alert. But she stops him and she's like, no. Mm-hmm. She realizes that her and Max are more like partners in crime and they feed into each other's darkness. And that's not what she wants. She does want to be accepted, but he really like feeds into it in a negative way. And she really wants a partner who like pushes her to be better. And Max gets really upset about this. He gets like really upset.
He like really takes it like a man.
He throws a super bitch tantrum.
Like
a little bitch tantrum.
Mm-hmm. Not a big bitch tantrum.
A little
bitch.
And he literally like storms out of the cottage in his rejection. And he honestly handled it not the way I thought he was going to. I didn't think he was going to be that narcissistic.
He's terrible.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was going to be that bad. So at this point, Patric is kind of spiraling. She's like, her and this Max stuff has always been kind of confusing and it always kind of makes her think a lot about David. And she's focused on her PhD and she's struggling to juggle that with the music industry. And she's got to quit that job and she hasn't told Everly, her best friend, if you forgot, listener. And so this night is the night of Everly's final show at the Roxy. And Patric's like, I really got to tell her at this point that I'm going to quit, because she is her manager also, because she really just needs to focus on her PhD. And she enjoys this and it doesn't feed her darkness and all those things. But she just had this blowout with Max and, she's really not feeling great. Oh, I forgot to mention, can we just rewind a tad? During this time, thank you. After her and David broke up and he drove away, they did start talking over the phone as like friends.
Yeah.
And they felt that maybe they jumped into the relationship too soon and that they were getting to know each other truly as adults at this point.
I feel like it was like a repeat of them as kids when they broke up, but then stayed really connected. Like it was a repetition of the same thing.
Which did make me a little worried.
Yeah.
But that's important to know. So, fast forward. Thank you. I wasn't sure if you were going to do it.
Uh-oh, jam.
Keep on reading.
We are so annoying. Like, you know what, you guys? Unsubscribe.
Sorry.
No, I get it. Unfollow. I will unfollow.
Oh, it's funny. Okay, we're ready. So she's upset. She's spiraling. She's doing a lot, right? It's Everly's last show, and her dad agreed to come pick her up. They go to the show together. And she can't wait for him. She's like, Dad's always been so logical. He's always been so helpful. He's quite understanding. Cool. Dad comes. He picks her up. And so she tells him everything that's kind of been bothering her. And she's like, also, like, I'm going to quit the music industry. Sorry. And also, there's this woman named Jenny. And she's been blackmailing me over photos of you. And so I just really need to go to the police and, like, close this shit out. Because, like, I need to be done with this and focus on my PhD and being a therapist. And what does her dad say?
He pulls a little bit of a, well, what if you do this? I'm going to take advantage of your sociopathy.
Yep. He's like,
yikes.
And yikes. He's like, are you going to tell them that you were stalking Jenny? And she's like, of course not.
Why would I do that?
Why would I do that? And he's like,
go to jail.
Okay, cool. So you're going to lie a bit already. And she's like, well, duh.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why don't you just like leave me out of it?
Yeah.
Why don't you just say these pictures are of you? And like,
it's giving Dad has actual photos of him. Yeah.
And
he never seemed more guilty.
It's kind of like, and hey, wink, wink, this will do me a solid, you know?
It's kind of like I never met Jeffrey Epstein.
Honestly, it broke my heart a little bit.
It broke mine too.
It broke my heart, especially because there was a couple, like, lines before this where she was like, I could always trust Dad. Like, I love Dad so much. And I even got a little choked up with, like, two of those lines. I was like, oh, God, that's so sweet. Patric hasn't had anyone like this in her life. And then 2 minutes later, he was like using her for being a sociopath like everyone else. And it broke my soul.
And like, David was just doing that with like having sex with her and,
No, everyone's
houses,
doing
but
it
like,
to her. Damn it, Dad.
Honestly, Dad. Look in the mirror and take a good hard look at yourself.
You bitch.
Are you proud of who you are, Dad?
So the two pull up to Everly's show, and Patric's obviously like spinning more than she already was before she got in the car. And they get into the venue, and who does she see? David. Her anchor. And she's like, David. And he's like, Patric. And then
why was that like?
But it didn't really happen like that. But it was a little like internally dramatic because she was spinning a lot and he kind of helped ground her as he does. And so she goes over to him and they hug and she's like, damn, I really love this man so much. But she's like, I'm really fucked up right now and I can't keep bringing this man down with me. I've got my own problems. And so she decides in this moment that she's going to push David away. And she starts lying to him. He's like, yeah, you told me about this show. And she's like, oh, did I? Like, I totally forgot. Like, why are you even here?
Really care.
Yeah, it was really sad. It actually kind of hurt my heart a little bit.
But also relatable.
I have a black heart, too. So the fact that it hurt was, meaningful. And she starts kind of acting a little drunk. She's just really working to push him away. And he's just like, what the fuck is going on? He can see through it, but he's confused for the most part. And then she sees Max across. leaves the bar and he's drunk and he's with a new girl and she storms off to go confront him. And the two of them really get into it. And Max calls her a vampire who feeds on feeling.
Max is dramatic.
No, but she's kind of like, yeah, I know, actually
but, like,
do
Max.
that.
Like, nobody asked your opinion.
And she's like, shit, I do that. I feed on other people's emotions because I'm lacking them. And she is like, I've kind of been taking advantage of others as well. And so she's like, you know what, Max? I am really sorry. And he's like, no, you're not. You're just good at faking it. And he doesn't really accept it. He says some more mean things and walks away. And then when she turns back to look at David, David has also left.
If I could turn back time.
That's what Yana thought while she was reading it. So that night after the show, Patrick and Everly go to the after party. They're hanging out in the pool. You know, it's like 4 a.m. because they're like rock stars. And Patrick realizes that she has no idea who she is. She doesn't know who she is when she's with David, when she's with Max, with her dad, nothing. She's like, I don't know who I am. And she's like, you know what? Starting tomorrow, I am going to do the work to figure out who I am. And I'm going to break some of the bad habits that I feel that I've formed. And I'm going to get to know who the real Patrick is. And that's where the book ends. You're like,
but don't worry, there's a whole novel for an epilogue.
But I was like, wow, what a way to end a book. Yeah. Like, I don't know if this should have been the epilogue. I feel like this should have been the final chapter. Just like, don't do this to us. I was like, if I don't find out how she did this, I'm going to be upset. So I'm calling this epilogue, but really it's more like the last chapter of the book. Yeah. So we jump a decade ahead and surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
She's married to
Max. Just kidding. It's
David. Come on, guys. You knew that was going to happen. Yeah. And I just wanted to say, Yana probably doesn't remember this, but in the last episode, we made final votes of if she ended up with David or not. I said no. You said yes. So.
You know why?
She's a hopeless romantic. Yana doesn't give up on love like I do.
Ew.
So it's still alive in her, everyone.
Please don't lie to our fans.
Men, come get her. She's waiting.
No. Please.
So
I mean, unless you're Adam Brody, sponsor me.
He's just married.
Me. Okay. I don't care.
Just me. Thank you for caring about me also.
He's mine.
I didn't like Adam Brody at all. So.
You can look at him when he's with me.
That'd be so weird. Be like,
take it off for Claire. I just want Claire to get a look. Oh.
What?
Wow. Okay.
Josh.
Sign me up. Wow. We took a turn.
Okay. I'm sorry. Woo! Back on track. So it's Thanksgiving dinner because it's time to give thanks. And Patrick's with her whole family. When I say her whole family, I mean even like her mom and dad, who we come to find. They're friends and they can be in the same space together.
I mean, it's kind of wild given how their relationship ended. But yeah, it's really nice to hear that people can do that.
I don't know if I have much to say about this in discussion, but I really did want to learn more about how she sort of built her relationship with her mom after her childhood, which I feel like we didn't really get.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe seems like they were able to.
Maybe one day
repair.
We'll get famous enough that we'll be able to ask her.
Yeah, that would be sick.
I think that'd be dope.
So dope. And so at this family gathering, they're all raving because Patrick got an article posted in the New York Times.
Heard of it?
How cool is that, honestly?
Pretty cool.
And the article is called, He Married a Sociopath, Me, which I went and I read, by the way. Did you go read it?
No.
I did. That was weird. I don't like that.
I love it.
Go read it. It's not long. But they're raving about this, and we kind of like rewind again. Thank you.
I forgot the rewind versus fast forward sign or sound.
And we find out that after many years of therapy, Patrick did a lot of work on herself. She really worked to break through some of the quote-unquote bad behaviors that she established to address the pressure buildup that she was experiencing and determine healthy law-abiding ways to live a life as a sociopath.
Mm-hmm.
And once she felt really good about herself, she knows who she is, she's got better coping mechanisms, she goes to David. She literally knocks on his door and is like, hey, I'm Patric. You've never met me. And she's just like, I'm a sociopath. I hate hugs. Please don't ever touch me again. And
But also I need your body hug.
It's actually pretty cute. But she's very honest about like, this is who I am, and either you take it or you leave it. And of course, obviously he takes it. Duh.
Oh, and so does she.
Whoa. We might have to read another smut book soon. So...
If you insist.
Oh no.
No, don't make me.
No, please.
Don't force me into
fairies.
it. No, I don't want fairies.
Yeah, I know you don't. I think you need to try one at one time.
I don't like fairies.
Just wait. These are not the fairies you think they are.
I don't understand what that means.
I know.
What kind of... I'm not thinking like Peter Pan.
Okay, we can't do this right now because...
I think this is incredibly important.
Okay, they have 2 kids, and motherhood is actually quite a unique experience for Patric. It's very beautiful, honestly. But she doesn't feel the, like, surge of love that mothers say that they feel when they first have kids, to the point where, like, even David does the skin to mouth, head, how do babies work contact. But over time, she finds her way through motherhood. She loves the shit out of her kids, and, you know, she protects them fiercely. The book basically ends with the family heading to like a turkey trot football thing that they do every year. And her sister, she's like, you know, hey, you wrote this article for the New York Times, you know, maybe you should write a memoir. And everyone's like, oh, maybe you should write a memoir. Patric's like, I don't know, maybe. She probably doesn't sound like that at all. She's probably like super cool. Sorry, Patric. And the last lines of the book are, this is her sister, this is so exciting. Have I ever told you you're the best person at helping others out of the darkness? Then Patric says, you have actually. Never fear. Captain Apathy doesn't care. And then Harlow says, you care when it matters. And that's all that matters. The end. Okay, let's talk about Max, the darkness, versus David, the light.
I just think the grass is always greener. And, you know, when you're going through a troubling time, it's easy sometimes to fall into this like, oh, this person's easy and
I mean, I really thought
I don't have the day-to-day issues.
I really thought she might end up with him for a minute there because
I didn't think she was going to end up with him. I just thought they were going to bone.
They didn't bone,
They did not bone.
But I don't know. It was like, I mean, he did accept her in her darkness in a way David didn't as an adult. But it also kind of seems like maybe that was for the best because I honestly didn't think she was going to learn healthy coping mechanisms. Sorry, I don't know if that's mean to say, but I kind of just accepted Patric for who she was, and I was like, I don't know if I did it in the way Max did, where he was like, yeah, if you kill her, who cares, you know, or like, I'm bored, what should we do? Oh, we should go stalk Ginny, you know? But I was like, hey, she has this pressure and she doesn't know what to do, and so she does these things, like she goes to people's funerals and she stalks people, and sometimes she breaks into vacant homes. And I was like kind of okay with that. But David never really was. And at the end of the day, he really did kind of push her to want to be better.
I just really don't like that Max was like, hey, why don't you kill her?
Yeah, every time I read chapters with Max, I was like, I don't know.
I know.
Like,
he just seemed like the bad boy kind of thing that like just seemed fun and kind of dangerous and just like a nice break from the struggles at home.
He's probably like a really cool, famous person also to like be hanging out with, right?
Also, I guess people online.
People?
Yes. People via Gemini think that it's Beck is the musician.
Who the fuck is Beck?
The musician.
I don't know who that is. You know, I don't know about mainstream music. I only know about old music.
Fairies.
Yeah, listen, I read fairy smut and I just listen to Queen on the way to work. So that's who I am. And if you're confused, you shouldn't be at this point.
Well, it says that she talks about him as a musician known by a single name, who was already famous when they met. She also says that Max performed at the Hollywood Bowl in 2007 and Beck performed during that. And then she also says that he had an acoustic guitar slung over his shoulder, and Beck was well known for his acoustic driven track. And the time that her father was prominent in the industry was the timeline would have placed her in the same social circles with Beck. Other people have speculated it could be John Mayer.
whoa. Anyway, it's like with any of us, right? If I do something that you're like, Claire, I don't know about that. Or you start like, quote unquote, hanging out with the wrong crowd when you're growing up. You're like, man, I don't know if I want you around those
Thunder
people.
from down under.
That was
Sorry, I had a cough.
That was one time. It was literally one time.
One time too.
But it's for the best that she ended up with David, I think.
I agree.
No, yeah, it was
They
for the
seem to be
best.
fine.
I gave up hope and I was ashamed of myself because I normally don't give up, but I did.
I always give up.
I was surprised that you didn't and I did.
Well, sometimes
shit changes.
Shit changes just for a split second. I'm back to giving up now.
What about the moment with her dad?
That made me sad.
It made me really sad.
It sounds like they're still good.
I hated that David was right. She planted that seed, or David was like, and your dad does it. And I was like, whatever, David.
But she just had no examples back then.
But I wonder if David observed things that happened. It sounds like that happened. And then this was the big one where Patric was like, oh, whoa, Dad. I was honestly kind of floored when I was reading that part. When he first said it, I was like, because at first he was like, I'll go to the police station with you. And I was like, oh, how supportive, Dad. You continue to be so wonderful. And then it kind of turned into like, maybe he'll go to make sure she doesn't say something. Or it's like, oh, I don't need to be there at all if you don't say anything. Yeah.
I feel like he implicated himself more in it by doing all that than if he had just stayed.
I don't even think she really cared about it.
No.
Honestly. And it just made it worse that he was trying to capitalize on the fact she doesn't have remorse or guilt.
Listen, I don't know.
Daddy.
I don't know if we can trust anyone these days.
But I feel like it all kind of wrapped up pretty nicely. We got the conclusion with Max. We got the conclusion with David. The only thing I didn't get was Mom. I just wanted to know how we got back with Mom.
All we know is that it turned out okay with everyone. They seem to have a jolly, happy family.
She has married kids. Harlow's married. She has kids. Yep. Mom and Dad can be in the same room together. Yep. She's got her PhD. She's a therapist. She's helping other sociopaths. I was literally so tempted to see if I could find like her dissertation or I found her website and I was like, I'm going to rabbit hole the shit out of this.
Yeah.
But I did read her New York Times article as well.
Yeah, I didn't read that. But did you read the very end when she does her like thank yous?
Yeah.
She's got a lot of love.
I just wanted to see if she would reveal anyone's identity. I selfishly read it.
She did a lot of initials and stuff. Or like, yeah.
I was like, who is Max?
I know. I did go down like a rabbit hole on Google trying to find out who like Harlow is.
Did you find her website?
No, I was on her Instagram and she has a lot of these like her family members on there, but they're not tagged.
Let's see who the real stalker is, Patric. Yana or you? Get it? Because you're good at finding information.
Yeah, that's a challenge I will happily accept.
I was like, did my joke not make sense?
No, to me, it's not a joke. It's real life.
Oh, sorry. I also liked the last chapter was called Modern Love. And that was like perfect title, because our idea of love and the way we talk about it in society is like Prince Charming and
Adam Brody.
And, motherhood being a specific way and life being a specific way and relationships and blah, blah, blah. And she's very honest about the fact that she didn't have a typical sort of relationship with David. They broke up. They got back together. They did a lot of couples therapy. I forgot to say that, everyone, to understand each other and to work through some of the challenges that they had when they were dating. And then when she had children, she didn't feel like the surge of love that mothers speak of.
But she seems to now.
And it didn't seem like it was in the sense of like postpartum. It seemed like more of her personality kind of thing.
They like when the baby was born and they were like, do you want to hold him?
She was like, no. She was mad that she didn't feel. She always wants to quote unquote feel normal and have those things, and she doesn't.
I think that would be incredibly frustrating to feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine.
But that's why I like this modern love. Like, it's not always, like, love doesn't always mean what we think it means. It's not always like Disney magic and, Prince Charming and motherhood and, all that kind of stuff. Happy nuclear family. It can mean a lot of different things. So, and I was really upset for a while there. It felt like even in these chapters, she talked about how David was trying to quote unquote fix her.
Yeah.
Like when they first went to...
I will try. to fix you.
This is what it's like having a book club with Yana, everyone.
What, perfect and fun?
She just sings a lot.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on?
I don't even know this song that you're singing. Wait, what was I saying?
Literally
Oh my god, you
perfect in
cut
any
off my
other way.
brain.
I'm sorry. I wish I could cut off your brain and put it into my heart.
Oh, this is about David trying to quote unquote fix her. When they went to couples therapy, he went in there hot and like, she just does this and she doesn't even care about my feelings and then blah, blah, blah. And I know there's good inside of her and she just needs to choose to be good, and I know
He's
it's
like, we're
in
here
there
to help her.
Yeah, and the Dr. Carlin, her therapist, long-term therapist, was like, yo.
That's not what couples therapy is.
You've got so much to learn right now, David. The way he was framing it and thinking about it was just very not bad a choice.
Very bad choice.
But it's always frustrating when you are trying to, quote-unquote, fix someone.
I will try to fix you.
That's all I had.
I overall really liked the book. I think that the ending was a little disappointing for me. It was a lot of building up to just kind of a quick wrap up at the end. That was mostly in the epilogue. Like, if you didn't read the epilogue, you've missed a lot.
Oh, yeah, that's why I was like, this shouldn't be an epilogue. This should be like the final chapter of the book.
And I don't always read the epilogue.
Me either. When I did the reader calendar, I did not include the epilogue. I was like, book's over. It's like just for the summer where you can read it or you don't need to. These are very different books, everyone.
But I only read the epilogue because I was like,
what happened? Yeah.
So I'm a little frustrated with the ending.
But you still got what you wanted in the epilogue.
Oh, I always get what I want.
God help me.
God can't hear you now.
Yeah. Before we get into our final ratings, why don't we hear some ratings from other people?
Yeah. Should we start with some good ratings? Should we start with some not so good ratings?
Let's start with the positive.
Okay,
so before we get into this book is very highly rated. Most reviews are 4 or 5 stars. I don't know why I can't talk.
Magnet.
Never going to try to say that word again. There's not a lot of lower end reviews.
Most of them are 4s on Goodreads.
Most of them are 4s and 5s on Amazon.
Have you heard of them?
And these were kind of hard to sort through because people had a lot of feelings.
They were long.
And they wrote
reviews.
A lot of...
The more negative the review, the more essay-like it was.
I found that even with the 4 and 5 stars, though, people were like going on. I think that's always a good sign if you can create that kind of conversation, whether you're feeling 5 stars or 2 stars. Let me give you a first 5 star. This is labeled, so helpful to this therapist. What an amazing, insightful, and personal look into the deep thought process of a sociopath. While I am not a sociopath, I have a limited range of emotion. No highs or lows, just a straight line. This book helped me normalize that a little for myself. This book will help me in my work with clients. Thank you. Well done.
That's 5 stars, yeah?
5 stars from a therapist. I also found that there were a lot of reviews from people who are therapists, but I was really looking for reviews from people who are like sociopaths or identify with a different personality. I didn't find a lot, and it kind of made me sad.
Are you ready for my 5 star?
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this person's name, but it looks like Monistat.
I'm sure they don't like that at all.
5 stars. I felt a lot of strong emotions while reading this book, so I don't think I'm a sociopath.
Okay.
That's it. Oh, I like them short and sweet.
Okay. All right. Sometimes it sounds like you're going to keep going and then you don't.
I know.
Okay. This is also 5 stars. Patric Gagne's Sociopath is more than a memoir. It's an act of courage. She doesn't just tell her story, she lays herself bare with a rare honesty that pulls you in and makes you reflect on your own life. What struck me the most is how she goes beyond labels, digging deep to understand herself, and in doing so, opening a door for others to do the same. This book doesn't just offer insight into her world, it challenges you to look at your own relationships and patterns differently. Her journey is equal parts self-discovery, resilience, and survival service to others. Few authors are willing to be this vulnerable, and it is exactly that bravery that makes this book powerful.
Yeah.
I agree with that. As I was reading it, I was like, she obviously changed a lot of people's names and things like that, but she's very honest, even in some of her unlawful acts. Did you notice in her acknowledgments, she's like, thanks for legal team for making sure I didn't say something
incriminating.
Because you would think some of those things,
well, most of them probably have like statute of limitation type things.
Yeah. Anyway, that's how honest she is.
Yeah. Rebecca rated it 4 stars.
Rebecca.
And she writes, everything I wanted to know about the inside of her brain. Painfully aware people are my favorites.
Okay.
Thank you, Rebecca.
For that 5-star review.
It was 4 stars, but still thank you.
Thank you for very much.
Very many.
Since we're getting into 4 stars, here's another one. This is labeled, I don't know how I feel. Having lived a life convinced that there was no one else like me out there, this book gave me comfort knowing it is not true. Personality disorders are exhausting. It's funny how we tend to gravitate towards psychology careers. Let's get into the 2 to 1 star reviews.
I'm going to start with 2s.
Do it.
Amber rated it a 2, and she writes, listen, I don't know if we should be employing sociopaths as therapists.
Aw.
That was sad. Very judgmental. So, honestly, fuck you, Amber. Go ahead.
This is 1 star, and she titled it Fake News. I was super excited to read this memoir, but it didn't live up to the hype. Her questionable credentials aside, she exaggerates her quote-unquote sociopath behaviors. For example, she never actually steals cars. In a couple cases, she just takes keys from drunk frat guys, drives to a gas station and buys a bag of Doritos and comes back. She comes off as highly narcissistic, privileged, annoying, and unlikable. I feel like most of what she says is fabricated. I don't think she wants to, quote, help sociopaths at all. The publication company should have presented this book as a novel, not a memoir. Do not recommend.
I saw that a lot about people being like, this is a novel.
I saw that
Everyone
a lot
questioning
too.
her, like...
And I mean, I remember reading the intro of the book that was like, some of this stuff is like exaggerated, and obviously I've lied about people's names, of course.
Yeah.
But I never took it as like, oh wow, this is so extreme that it simply must be fiction. I guess I just kind of took her on her word, but everything that I saw when it came to like 2 and 1 stars was people saying they didn't believe.
Right. They don't believe
her story.
Well, and so many people were like, hey, she knows she's like a liar. She has said she's a liar.
Right.
But then she's also not, though.
But then there's people who are like, I couldn't find her dissertation, or I can't find her whatever. And I'm like, who's the fucking stalker now, freaks?
Yeah, let Yana try.
I don't know. Like, I think it's really weird sometimes when, and maybe I'm just naive or gullible. I just don't know why I would just be like, I don't believe you. You know, I think, I don't know. I just think that's weird. But mostly all of the reviews that are towards the end of the scale are because they think she's a liar.
Well, Danica over here gives it a 1 star and writes, unfortunately, this was the only book I had to read while stranded overnight in the Tulsa airport. Learn from my mistakes. Always bring 2 books with you on a trip, just in case one of them is this one.
Oh my gosh. Some of these are like, it's so extreme. Like, wow. Okay, here's another 1 star. It's like people really love this book or they hate it. 1 star. Wow. Not in a good way. There were so many amazing reviews for this book, but now that I've heard the book, I'm thinking they sound suspiciously alike. This is a book about someone who enjoys tormenting animals and people. Maybe that's a sociopath? She says she can't tell right from wrong, but clearly she can because she relishes doing wrong and evil acts and gets thrills from it.
1 more 2 star for me, Leah.
Okay, Leah.
An entitled, privileged Nepo white woman who seems very proud of herself for juvenile insights about mental illness. This repetitive book should be handled as a work of pure fiction with an unreliable and insufferable narrator.
Oh, wow, insufferable.
Yeah. If her therapist actually did tell her to write a book, parentheses, though it's obvious her therapist didn't do this because the conversation is clearly fabricated, that therapist should have her license revoked.
Okay.
Patric should be in jail, but because of her background as a rich, white, coastal woman, unlimited in both resources and ego, she is instead on the New York Times bestseller list.
Coastal woman? What does that
I
even
don't
mean?
know. She has no self-reflection about this at all. What a waste of everyone's time.
Who the fuck
Leah.
is this person? What are your credentials? I can't imagine coming in so hot on somebody for anything.
I really can't.
I could never be like, you know what, you should be in jail and your therapist got fired while I go do whatever my stupid job is. Like, my job is dumb. I get paid a lot for it. But like, I would never just be like,
my job is not dumb and I get paid nothing.
So, okay, I'm feeling very negative and I don't like this.
I love it.
Let's read one more positive.
Oh.
And then we'll go into our ratings. Or I could just read one more that I have here. Okay, 5 stars. Much needed understanding. I would like to thank the author for this book explaining sociopathy in her experience. As a teacher, I see children every day that don't receive the love and understanding that they deserve. I hope that if I meet a child like the author, I can accept the child as they are and treat them with kindness. A lot of reviews from people who are like teachers, psychologists, like public service kind of jobs.
Well, they're probably more interested in like psych type.
Then you have these other people like fucking, what's her name? Leah. Who's
fuck you, Leah.
She doesn't even.
If your name is Leah, fuck you.
So that's generally the sort of high level
I just think it's really interesting that so many of the negative reviews are like, we just don't believe you.
I know, it's weird. I just
like,
can't
also,
imagine.
who the fuck cares? Like, I don't know.
I can't imagine just taking that stance, being like, you know what, I read your entire book and I don't believe you now. Like, that's so weird to me, right?
I believe it because I believe women.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, though.
Yeah,
except I thought about one woman I didn't believe. So, because she burned me at work and I was like, I stood up for you.
I can think of one more woman you don't believe.
Yeah, me too. I thought about her.
Yeah.
Y'all know, what is your rating of the book? Yana, Yanita, you bitch ass bitch. Out of 5 stars.
I am going to say 4.2.
Because?
I lowered it. I was going to say 4.5, but I lowered it because of the ending.
I still don't understand why you're so caught up on this. You got your ending with the epilogue.
I just don't believe it.
Because you didn't like that it was optional?
Yeah, I don't like multiple choice.
Okay, so let's say...
I just didn't like the ending. That's it.
What about it didn't you like?
I just didn't like how it was written.
Like, in what way?
I just feel like it got really, like, jargony and less about, like, her wrapping things up with everything she talked about in the book and more, like, the science behind Sociopath. Like, I wanted to hear more about the relationship she had. I wanted those to...
There is no wrap-up, though, because those continue on.
I think that, like, for most of the book, all the episodes up to this one, I did not want to stop reading. I wanted to keep going. And I felt less invested in these chapters. I just didn't feel like I was getting much from it.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Fucking
Leah. Literary genius. And this just was not good enough for me.
That's still a really high rating, though.
Yeah. No, I would say I would recommend this book to others.
I was going to say 4.5.
Okay.
I actually really liked this book. I was like almost shy of 5 stars because I feel like this is a very, I don't feel any need to not believe her.
Yeah.
So like, if all of this is true, which I believe it to be, I know some things are embellished, like people's names and stuff like that. But for the most part, I feel like this is a very raw memoir to the point where I was kind of like, oh, God, should she say that? You know, like breaking into Hugh Hefner's office and breaking into people's homes and borrowing drunk frat boys' cars. Like, that takes a lot of fucking balls to put that down and be like, this is what I did in my life, you know?
Also knowing, like, your kids are going to read it.
Yeah, and your family and, you know, and you're telling the whole world that you're a sociopath, and that obviously comes with a stigma that, you know, like we learned. And so I do feel like there is something to be said for her honesty and rawness in this book. And then I also feel like I just learned a lot. I learned so much about, you know, we do bucket sociopath and psychopath together so much. And like her whole spectrum theory. And I don't know, even just getting a better sense for personality disorders and how I could better empathize and think about my interactions with people. I feel like I took a great deal of learnings from this book. And like I said, I was like very shy of 5 stars. My only thing was like, I really wanted to know how she kind of rebuilt her relationship with her mom, because it was such a pivotal part of the beginning of the book.
Yeah.
And it laid the foundation for like so much, like even her stuff with David, where
the truth-telling.
Yeah, the truth-telling. And with her therapist, she had that problem too. And she felt like she would be punished for telling the truth. And that all goes back to her mom. And, you know, just to hear that they're like at Thanksgiving and everyone's happy and they're like, good job. And like, that's great. I'm really glad that's how it worked out.
Yeah, she doesn't even talk about like phone calls with her mom or anything.
You literally never hear about what happened with her mom. Yeah. And it kind of seemed like she was able to, like a lot of us probably, you kind of escape that as a teenager. You go to college, you start your new life. You know, she's reconnected with her dad. She's got this new life in LA that's very different from Florida, and the relationship she had with her mom, the dynamic she had there. And then we just literally never hear about her mom again. But they seem to be well off now. And maybe that's just stupid. And I'm too nosy and I don't need to know about that.
I think you're right because of how much it was the entire like first half.
It was like part 1 was like me and my mom.
Yeah.
Busted as hell.
Absolutely. Love you, Mom.
And I thought we'd find out about like her connection to that locket. And if the mom found out that she tried to flush the ruby earrings. This could be like my spectrum stuff though too, where I'm like stuck on something and I'm like, what up? You didn't tell me, you know? But I really, really wanted a conclusion with her mom.
Yeah.
But overall, like, of all the books we've read, this is my favorite book.
Same.
And I would highly recommend it. And like I said, I almost wanted to give it 5 stars, minus mom. And also that last chapter, the epilogue should be the last chapter. Like, you can't just end it with like, and then I started my new journey. The end. It's like, but what?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a game for us?
I do. Oh. But before that, listener, tell us what you thought of Sociopath. You can send us your notes or thoughts or final ratings at
mybfbookclub@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on our socials.
At mybfbookclub.
All right, everyone, are you ready?
I'm nervous. I feel like now when I read, I'm like, this could be something she brings
like a
up.
Pop quiz.
Yeah, except then I forget.
This one was harder because it's like a memoir.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in Sunburned, it's like, ooh, who died first? And you're like, you know, but this is like serious.
Yeah.
So Sunburned. I liked Sunburned.
I've already forgotten what it was.
Her new book, The Siren, is supposed to be...
Was Sunburned the
Catherine
murder one?
Yeah, on the boat.
Yeah. With
Tyler.
Tyler. Fuck you, Tyler.
Fucking bitch. Okay. All right. Jumping into... What does Yana remember? If you're a longtime listener, you know that Yana has a really bad memory, and we do this segment to test how much she enjoyed a book. All right, Yana, you ready for number 1?
Nope.
What's the name of Patric's pet ferret? You got this.
Baby.
Good job.
I was like, Betsy, babe.
The way your face turned, you're like, baby. Okay. What treasured item does Patric leave in her childhood house when her mom...
Locket.
Yeah, I shouldn't have fucking said that. I reminded you, but it's
I knew.
fine. Okay. When does Patric start stealing/borrowing cars?
In college.
Why does Patric enjoy confrontation with her college roommate, Kimmy?
Because she wants to use the machine, which is the interpreter.
Good job.
Thank you.
I love Machine. It's one of my favorite parts of the book, how, like, fascinated she is by it. And she literally wants to, like, fight to use the device. Yeah. Okay, what's the name of the sociopath that Patric loathes?
Jennifer.
Look at you. You're kicking butt, Yana.
Yes.
Why does Patric stop being friends with Ariane? What the fuck her name is?
Confusing her with Jennifer.
Would you like a hint?
She's not the boyfriend one?
She is a boyfriend. Well, they both have boyfriends.
But is this the one where she had her break into the house and she was like, fuck you, like your boyfriend actually does love you?
Yeah.
And you're just using me?
Yes.
Okay.
But do you remember what she says to her?
Fuck you.
That's what Patric says to her.
Oh, like, I mean, doesn't she like call her out on the whole, like, you're a sociopath, so like, what do you care?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh.
She's like, good job.
Thank you.
You got there. You had to work through some holes,
I had to remember the difference between Jennifer and Ariane.
There's one person mentioned who Patrick says she almost physically assaulted.
Jenny. Fuck you, Jenny.
Fucking Jenny. Okay. Is sociopath or psychopath in the DSM?
No.
Bonus point. What is in the DSM?
Antisocial something behavior. Social personality disorder.
Good job.
Thank you.
I don't know if you get that bonus point, but it's okay. We'll give it to you.
I don't need the bonus point.
Yeah, because you've already gotten them all. Exactly.
That's right.
You've already passed the test. Okay. Throughout the book, Patrick often references the book The Mask of Sanity, which includes a list of 16 key traits that define a sociopath. What's the name of this list? It's a hard one. I did a good job.
Characteristics of sociopath.
Remember, she's always like, blah, blahs.
Yeah.
List of.
I don't
Number
remember that.
7
I don't think I
is-
paid attention to that.
Oh, fuck. I wrote it down, but then I deleted it.
Oh,
It was
look, I
like
can't remember either.
Ketchley's or...
Cash me outside.
Checkley's? What's his name?
Chuck E. Cheese?
Cleckley. Remember, she's like, Cleckley's.
Yeah.
Number 7 does not...
Yeah, I just didn't
Play
pay
well with
that
others.
much attention. Doesn't play.
Well, she said it so many times.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question, Yana.
Okay. I don't even need it.
You've got this one. You already said it.
It's cute. You think I will remember?
You've got this. Is Patrick's sister's name actually Harlow?
No. Done. A plus.
Yeah.
A.
I would say A.
Mhm.
Good job.
Thank you.
You did a really great job.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of
very
you.
smart. My reading comprehension is top
You're
notch.
so smart. I can't even handle it inside of my body.
Yeah. I can't even handle it outside of my body.
Yana, what is your final food rating for the entire book of Sociopath? A memoir by Patric Gagne.
I'm going to say burrito.
That sounds wonderful.
Because
Wonderful.
I just think it was a lot of goodness wrapped in some delish and just beany and cheesy and, you know, full of yums and just convenient as fuck. And
Does anyone actually eat food still and say yum out loud?
I do.
I want to know. Yum.
Yummy.
I feel like people go, but like, are you like, yum?
Yeah. But yeah, so I think a burrito. I
Okay.
love a burrito.
Who doesn't love a burrito?
I'm sure some people don't.
Like a fat one,
Yeah.
you know?
Like a gordito burrito.
Yeah, like the tortilla is like
De Los Locos.
breaking a bit,
Oh.
you know, because it's so fat.
Yeah.
And you got to put a bunch of different sauces on
And
top.
you kind of got to like hold on to it still with the foil or
You
else
gotta
everything.
hang on to that burrito.
What about you, Claire? Do you have a food rating for the whole book?
I feel like this is an unnamed food. It's when you go to a fancy schmancy, like chef's tasting menu, and they're like, this is the blip, 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 blip. And you're like,
Yes,
yes.
it's a great dish.
And they're like, would you like this paired with... And you're like, absolutely.
'Cause that's a good year.
Yeah, and you don't want to like
You belong.
them to know.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's something you don't know about. And it's like layered and you eat it and you're like, I've learned so much and this is delicious. And I'll probably forget some of this at some point in my life, but I've learned something new. I've experienced something new and words, you know?
Words.
Words. You know,
Yes.
like when you see menus and they're
Yes.
like, blah, 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 and you're like,
Yes.
what's that?
You have to Google everything.
So
for the
it's
dish.
kind of like an unnamed chef's tasting
Yeah.
menu.
I love that.
And she also has high privilege, so it kind of works with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
that
giving
was
privilege.
the other thing in the reviews I saw a lot of too, was people being like, she's so privileged, blah, blah, blah. And like, sure, I mean, I think, you know, we talked about that too, but I don't feel like that is like the breakdown in the core of this book is like, well, she had a dad in the music industry and he gave her her house, and sure, it plays a role, but I don't think it's like the essence of it all.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it definitely helped her out financially, but she also didn't end up in the music business. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what she wanted. You know, she wanted to work with sociopaths.
She did something
And she
that
worked
like
hard to get there.
a lot of people have the opportunity
Yeah.
to do. You just have to go get a PhD.
Yeah,
right?
which is like super
Obviously.
easy.
Right. But like, I mean, not right, but I don't know me.
Right.
I think, sadly, it's probably easier to like go get your PhD and become a therapist than it is to like work with famous people in the music industry and be like highly successful.
Luckily, I'll never know.
I don't want to work in the music industry. It sounds terrible, honestly. Yana, what is the next book that we're reading?
Thank you, Claire. It is called My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney.
Yay!
And
I'm excited about
I'm very
this. I didn't know
excited.
how hyped people were on this until I went to get it from the library.
it's like a 15-week wait.
I know, I was
So
like,
we had to buy it.
oh, I mean, yeah, so I bought it, which is fine because, support authors, support books, people.
I
But
mean, I
was
guess
like,
I just won't eat this week.
It's like $12 now.
Well,
would you buy the hardcover?
it means more to some people than others.
That's fair. Sorry.
I guess my dog can't go to college next year. So, hey, speaking of new books, though, are you reading anything else?
I
'Cause last I
am
heard, you were
juggling
reading, like, 30
too
books.
many books right now, and I figured out that 4 is my max. So I have Slewfoot that I'm reading. Well, I finished Sociopath, obviously. I started the new book, My Husband's White, and then I am so fucking deeply hard into Quicksilver, and I'm in love with Kingfisher, and you don't understand that, but people who have read it, they do get it. And thankfully there's a gal at work reading it with me, and we're reading it together, and we're having a great time. We talk about fairy smut at work, and it's a new experience. I really enjoy it. I'm honestly almost done with it, and it's like 600 pages. I'm obsessed.
Wow. Wow.
I'm 80% through. What about you, Yana?
Oh my God. Well, I finished Strangers, and yeah, it turned out definitely more healing than not. And it's giving a lot of content for my therapist. And my new book right now is called Yesteryear. Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. Keep on reading.
No, I really... Just because I have doesn't mean other people have.
Oh, I don't really care about anyone else's opinions but yours.
Oh my God. Thank you. Keep on reading.
Yesteryear is about it's a satirical book about an influencer who is like all about the trad wife life. But then she wakes up one day and has like gone back in time to when she would actually be living as a trad wife. And now she's having to like actually deal with the 1850s type.
I really did
like
hear
hard
about
life.
this book.
Yeah. Rather than, more of the curated kind of online life.
Pretending.
Yeah. She's like a trad wife with a KitchenAid mixer, not a trad wife actually like milking cows and churning butter.
It always comes down to churning butter and milking cows, everyone.
Plus here, it's like they have rights, and 1850s, even less.
That's a horror book, it sounds like.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I have not yet started.
I want to read, what's her name? Lena Dunham? What's her name from Girls?
Yeah, her memoir.
Fame Sick or Fame Struck or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, I've been seeing her
She's very controversial, and
aren't we all?
I heard that the book kind of unpacks that, like, why the internet and the world just decided they hated her. They, like, picked a sacrificial lamb, and it was her. I don't know if that's true.
I'm so excited for one day when we're, like, famous, and we write our memoir, and then people are like, oh, those two are so controversial.
Abby Jimenez is going to be like, fuck these fucking bitches.
Those two hate moms everywhere.
I would take pure hate from Abby Jimenez. They probably deserve it.
Yeah, no, we for sure do.
Yeah.
But again, no publicity is bad publicity.
+1.
Actually, if we charged for every time we mentioned her.
That's true.
She would be rich, we would be rich.
She's already super rich. She's like a very popular romance writer.
Well, good for her,
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
Listen, friends, we just love to read. And we love to find other friends who love to read, and we love to talk about all the things we read and about how much we love to read. Read. And we just love to also like have best friend time and just chat and see each other all the fucking time and have dinners and shit. So like we want to keep this going, and for us to keep this going, y'all need to like show us some love, goddammit. So please tap that 5-star like you will keep listening to us.
Like, you also have modern love, and that means that couples therapy is cool, and it's alright if you break up and get back together.
All right.
And you find your Prince Charming in a modern sense, not a Disney sense, because we
or
all know
Princess Charming.
That's not real, unless they're a frog.
Oh boy.
Baby.
So
tap that follow button, share us with people who will enjoy us, which is obviously
and
everyone.
honestly, share us with people who maybe won't. We don't care. Like I said, no publicity is bad publicity.
Upset them with our annoyance.
Do you know what, you guys, listeners, you have someone you hate.
Send them our podcast.
Send them, and then DM us or email us and tell us to give them a shout out of a fuck you, and we will.
We'll send fuck you to all your friends. We'll send them to your moms.
Yes,
your dads,
absolutely your moms.
Your boyfriends that you don't like, your girl. Well, I don't know. We might not do your girlfriends. You've really got to explain what they did.
Yeah. And we're going to need to hear her side of the story, too.
Overall, we're quite unbiased. And if you want us to send a fuck you to someone, we absolutely will.
We obviously love to say it. So anyway.
So fuck you, mom and dad.
Yeah. And fuck all your moms. And if you're a mom, fuck you.
And just really remember that we love reading. So remember.
Keep on reading.
God
damn
it.
God.
Bye.
Fuck you.
I got really violent. I'd like to dedicate this episode to Ego, my little Chihuahuan demon who is on his way to the rainbow.